Hello ladies, gentlemen, and everybody else watching. My name's Eric and welcome back to a brand new video here on the Bioshock Hub. Before I get into the video, I wanted to personally say thank you for the overwhelming love and support on that update video. That meant so much to my mom that she couldn't read all of the comments because she started to tear up. So thank you for all the kind words, all the generosity and the love. I appreciate it more than I have words for. So again, thank you so much. I will be doing a live stream this weekend, or all weekend basically, where I'm going to be trying to raise as much money as possible, and I'm going to have 3 prizes in particular. So obviously back in the day, a company called NECA made Bioshock figures. So I'm going to be raffling off a Little Sister, the Ladysmith Splicer, and the Boy of Silence to the top donors in each respective live stream. So if you want a chance to win one of those, check out the live streams over the weekend. It should be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So with that being said, let's get into the Bioshock Definitive Plasmid and Vigor tier list. Again, your tier list and my tier list is going to be completely different, totally understandable, and it's totally okay. But I will take into consideration a lot of the comments you guys leave, especially about one specific one, that being Undertow. So you'll see where we go from there. So again, with the first tier list that I did, I'm going to work my way from the worst tier all the way up to the best tier. And if you want to check out that tier list, I'll put a icon on the top right hand corner of this screen. Watch it after this video, or I'll also put a link down in the description along with this tier list if you want to make one for yourself. So first and foremost, let's get the worst of the worst out of the way. First, what I'm going to do is this one, because I just genuinely don't ever use it personally, and there are so many better options that I just don't see the point in using that one. It's just not effective personally. And then the only other one that I could really see in the F tier would probably be Scout. Now, in theory and on paper, it was a wonderful idea for a plasmid. In execution, not so much. Peeping Tom, which right here, so much better. So let's get on to the next tier, which is D. First and foremost, we got to put Decoy there. Now, it is useful from time to time. However, it doesn't last a very long time, and that is the only unfortunate thing. So yeah, you can get enemies away from you for about, I don't know, 5 to 7 seconds, and then all of a sudden when that goes away, they come right back at you. Definitely not good on higher difficulties, that's for sure. Next up, I'm going to put in Rage. Now, higher difficulties, it is decent. However, it seems when you enrage someone, they have a lot less health. And obviously, the splicers, if you enrage one out of a group, they die instantly. So it's almost a wasted plasmid slot. And I'm going to do the same thing for Possession. Possession enemies are extremely weak, and if you honestly want to use it, you can. It's fun. It has its benefits to obviously be able to hack the vending machines, to hack things like turrets, the mosquitoes, stuff like that, but it really isn't effective. It lasts way too short of a time period, and the only really decent thing about it is, like I said, you can hack turrets and stuff like that, but they die very easily, just like the people you can possess as well. So very, very unfortunate. Next up, what I'm going to put here is... this one's going to be a tough one because I don't know if I should put this in the D list because people might get mad at me. So please don't get mad. But I'm going to put this one here. This one's more of a meme one. I mean, it's fun to use. Don't get me wrong. It's extremely funny to use as well. But it's just not really useful, to be honest. And then the last one I'll put up here is Hypnotize. Or actually, no, that's going to go on C. That's going to start our C list. My apologies. This is extremely good for hard mode and survivor difficulty, or just hard mode on Bioshock 2, especially if you want the Big Daddy to do the majority of the heavy lifting for you to clear out enemies and stuff like that. But the only downside to that, besides, you know, the Big Daddy chasing you around after that, is if they have a little sister and you want to rescue her or harvest her for the Atom, as soon as you hypnotize the Big Daddy, they dip out and they're gone. So you'll have to wait for another little sister to eventually spawn in. Next up, we are going to do this and Old Man Winter. Good for stun locks. Don't get me wrong. Very good for stun locks. But the thing is, if you kill an enemy that's completely frozen, there's no loot. And if you're doing it on harder difficulties, you want to be able to loot enemies for ammo, for money. And if you kill an enemy that's completely frozen, unfortunately, bye-bye to loot. So that's the only downside. Next up, I'm going to put Bucking Bronco. Now, again, this is good for an entire group of ads, or enemies, I should say. But there's no sort of damage that happens with it. They just get suspended in the air. So if you want to do a combo with the Vigor, let's say you use Murder of Crows, that's perfect. And it actually makes sense to use it then. So I'm going to put it there. It's a wonderful Vigor to use, but it's not very strong, if that makes sense. Now for B. This one is going to hurt because I have to put 3 of my favorites here. Because even though I love them, they're just not as powerful as some of the other ones on the list. So the first one I'm going to put is Security Bullseye. And you might be thinking, isn't that a little too high on the list? This is one of the most underrated and underappreciated plasmids in Bioshock and Bioshock 2, especially if you have a hacked turret or a hacked security camera, and it definitely comes in handy for the Fontaine boss fight when he spawns in those security drones. So it is definitely one of the most underrated plasmids to use. Trust me, try it out. You will not regret it. The next one I'm going to put up here because you guys absolutely love it is Undertow. Now, I personally suck with it, but I know how powerful this is, especially when you get them trapped up in that water trap and then you use Shock Jockey on them. It is like a very good 1-2 punch. I wish I knew and I could learn how to use it better, but you guys seem to really enjoy Undertow, so I'm definitely going to put it in the B slot. Now, here is another controversial one, but I'm also going to put Electrobolt here, and I'm also going to put Shock Jockey since they're virtually the same thing. Again, wonderful plasmids a wonderful plasmid and a wonderful Vigor. The only thing that is different with Shock Jockey is that you can place traps on the ground, which is wonderful, but both are incredibly reliable to stun enemies and to be able to immediately headshot them, whether it's with a crossbow, a shotgun, pistol, etc., whatever weapon of choice you decide to use. But like I said, eventually and essentially it's the same thing. I'm also going to go back here for a second. I'm going to put Peeping Tom on C. Again, it is the better version of Scout, but unfortunately this is not in the base game. It's only in Burial at Sea. So I'm not quite sure why none of the other Burial at Sea Vigors are here besides Ironsides, because I know that's in the DLC as well. But I believe it's also in the main game. I'm trying to remember. If it isn't, I know Return to Sender is, so regardless, whatever. Now here's the part that hurts, because these are some of my favorites. We have Charge. It's extremely powerful if you get the right pieces of gear. However, Charge by itself is good. Not great, but it's good. Then we have Insect Swarm. It hurts. It's my favorite plasmid. It does a little damage over time, and it also has a little bit of a stun lock effect, but again, there's just better plasmids to choose from. And then finally, Murder of Crows. Basically, what I said about Insect Swarm, you can apply that to Murder of Crows. The only one up for Murder of Crows is that you can do the Vigor combinations. So if you want to use that and Shock Jockey, perfect combo. Now, on to the A tier list. We are going to go with Ironsides and Return to Sender. Hear me out. For Bioshock Infinite, these are honestly run savers. If you're on 1999 mode and you finally get to the end where you have to defend the Hand of the Prophet, Return to Sender traps on the pillars that you have to actually defend, it's perfect. You throw 2 or 3 traps on there and you don't have to worry about them being destroyed. Yeah, it's definitely a run saver. And again, if you're on 1999 mode Ironsides, you can collect bullets and it gives you ammo, so you don't have to loot, you don't have to buy anything from the vending machines, and I believe Return to Sender can do that as well if Ironsides isn't in the main game. So there's that. Now, in my opinion, S tier, these are the... I thought of something. I'm going to put Incinerate in the A tier as well. If you can get Incinerate 3, it's wonderful. And it does one of the highest amounts of damage in the shortest amounts of time. So, great plasmid. Now, let's go to the S tier. For one, Devil's Kiss. If you get the upgrades that actually has that bomb effect of Devil's Kiss, 1999 mode is a fucking breeze. Lady Comstock fight, nothing. Handyman, nothing. Basically, any hard enemy, all you have to do is throw down a couple of Devil's Kiss traps, dead. And again, you can combo that with Charge, you can combo that with Murder of Crows. There's just a lot you can do with Devil's Kiss, and just the damage output. I think it's the best Vigor that's actually in Bioshock Infinite. And then obviously this one I really don't need to talk about because the majority of you know how good telekinesis is, especially in Bioshock 1. Bioshock 1, the plasmid is actually broken. You don't need to upgrade it at all. And the fact that you can use this until endgame and one-shot enemies, basically, is fucking ridiculous. So try that out on your hard mode playthrough, your survivor playthrough. Telekinesis is wonderful, and it uses very little, if not any, Eve. So try it out. Let me know what you think. With that being said, if you agree or disagree with the tier list, that's completely okay. We're all human. We have different opinions and different thoughts. So let me know your tier list down in the description below. And again, if you want to check this out, I will leave this tier list down in the description. And also, again, I will be raffling off those 3 NECA figures in the live streams that I'm going to be doing over the weekend. With that being said, thank you all so very much for watching. If you enjoyed and want to see more content, would you kindly hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and also be sure to turn on all post notifications to never miss a future video or a future live stream. I would very much appreciate that. With that being said, if you want to talk to me outside of YouTube or talk to me just in general, my social medias and my Discord server are the best ways to do so, the links to which will be down in the description below. And finally, thank you all so very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye, guys.